Welcome to another session on English language usage and grammar. Here we have a sentence which may look a bit awkward. They ate their tea. They ate their tea. Yet it's correct English. You may wonder, we drink tea. How can we eat tea? We drink coffee. We drink milk. We drink water. Then how can we eat tea? And why do British people use this phrase, eat tea? But eat tea is a perfect, valid phrase, perfect grammar, perfect English. In fact, it is a traditional British way of saying something. British people always use eat tea, and there is a good reason for it. So if you think we can only drink tea, how can we eat tea? Here is a video which will tell you why British people use the phrase eat tea. So before we explain why eat tea is perfect English, it's important to know what exactly tea means. What do you mean by tea? If you want to refer to a pot of tea or a glass of tea, or the girl drinking a cup of tea, as shown in the pictures below, then you can only drink tea, you cannot eat tea. If this is what you mean by tea, the pictures given below, then you can only drink tea, you cannot eat tea. The way you drink water or milk or juice. Yet, eat tea is a phrase common in British English. I first found this phrase, they had their tea, in Enid Blyton's The Five Findouters. The series is there in one of the books. I first encountered this sentence, they ate their tea. And afterwards I found that this was a perfect English phrase and in common use in native England. In Britain they use this phrase and this is perfect English. So maybe tea has a different meaning unless you can think of solid or frozen tea. So since we cannot think of solid and frozen tea, and obviously we will not be chewing tea leaves. So tea obviously has a different meaning where we can eat tea instead of drink tea. So really, tea has a different meaning. Tea refers to a light meal in late afternoon. So when you eat tea, you are referring to the entire eatables that you have in the tea time. They may include sandwiches, buns, rolls, cake, and a glass of milk or a juice or coffee or tea. The actual tea may not be there. It may be milk, it may be fruit juice, it may be cocoa. Tea may not be there. But the entire plate, the entire meal, the entire collection of eatables, that's what they mean when they say they ate their tea. Tea time is cherished as the most precious get-together time in British life. Buns, rolls, scones, sandwiches, cake. So all these form a part of tea, a light meal in late afternoon, not necessarily the liquid tea beverage. When we say tea, the actual tea may not be there. It could be milk, it could be cocoa, it could be fruit juice, but we are referring to the entire set of consumables, the entire meal, all the items. It could be sandwiches, it could be buns, it could be rolls, it could be cake, or a combination of all these things, and maybe a glass of milk or tea or coffee or cocoa. We are referring to the entire meal. That's the reason why they say they ate their tea. British people really eat their tea. And tea time in traditional British family life is an important, cherished, and precious moment. It's a moment for get together. And also, they get energized for the later hectic schedule in the evening. This is the time when neighbors and friends drop in for a chat. So, tea time is the most important tradition in British lifestyle. So, when they say they ate their tea, they actually refer to the meal, the light meal in the late afternoon or sometimes early evening, which consists of a lot of snacks plus maybe tea or cocoa or milk or coffee. So that's why we say they ate their tea. So we have shown symbolically when to use drink tea and when to use eat tea. If you are having only the beverage, a glass of tea or a cup of tea, then you say you drink tea. But if you mean a whole lot of things which you take at tea time, a light meal in the afternoon, then you eat tea, not drink tea, because actual tea may not be there. So that's the difference between drinking tea and eating tea. Drinking tea refers to the liquid beverage only. Eating tea refers to all the eatables, all the tasty snacks that are consumed at tea time. So that's why we say English is a living language. English is flexible. English is changing. English caters to the real demands of life. English caters to the needs of the people. So English cannot be confined to some outdated grammar book or some stupid English text as taught in schools. The textbook taught in schools do not teach you English. The stupid grammar book does not teach you English. English, if you want to learn, you will have to read extensively books written by British and American authors. Extensively read all the books written by American authors, British authors, then you know what really English is. That's English, not the textbook which you are reading, not the textbook that is prescribed in school. That is not English. The real English will come from extensive exposure to real English as you find in stories and novels written by British and American authors. So get the habit of reading extensively rather than depending on a stupid textbook prescribed in your school or an outdated grammar book. We shall come back with more interesting videos. Till then, thank you and goodbye.